Hello. This spreadsheet is for the Andy Corporation. You'll notice over here on the left-hand side, I've got three columns of historical data, 2015, 16, and 17. And over here, we have projections for 18, 19, and 20. So first of all the data is controlled through the assumptions. So I can go here to the assumptions, and we'll change this from 2.5 to 2%. And you'll notice that not the historical data doesn't change, but the projections do. Now we go through here and we've got all the different data elements in here. So you can see the kickback average, and the development is actually from the historical kickback average from year to year. And so what I can do is I can say, I can change this from the projected amount, which is 18%, and that's pushed out, to a new one. And so let's say we want to change the projection from 18. Let's say we're going to go a little bit lower on development, change that to 12%. And now, if I just change it to the override, you'll notice that the numbers actually went down to 12%. Once again, this number calculates inflation in there, so you'll see that the 12 is actually just a slightly bit higher because it's also including the 12 plus the 2% for inflation. And the same is true for all these. So historically, the strategic projects average has been about $1 million a year, 895,000. But let's say, and so it calculates that in with inflation. But let's say I want to move this to, let's say we're going to go really heavy into some special projects over the next few years. So we're going to make this, let's say, $2 million. And instead of using the projected, we're going to use the override. And you'll see how that increases with inflation. Same true as with retirements. Here's our average, but you can project that out in a different amount. And then these are all contributing to maintenance as well. So if you see with projection right now, it's 1,000 or $1 million a year. Let's say we're going to go really heavy on some of our projects, and the retirements are going to increase. So I'll change this to, negative $3,000. And we'll override this, and now you'll see the maintenance will actually go down quite a bit. So that's how that figures in. The same thing with the development maintenance ratio. We've got 40% right now. Once again, we can change this, and it will reflect it in the numbers. Same with the development to support ratio. And then we have some other categories we've added, such as infrastructure, software, external services, and internal services. Same is true with administrative overhead. Right now, historically, we've been averaging 7.8%. If we want to change that to, let's say, a lower amount, 5, we'll just change this. We'll override, and those numbers will go down. Once again, same is true with sales. If we want to say, historically we've gotten 11.6, but we want to reduce that to 6%, we'll override this, and instead of being, 3 to 3.4 million over the next 3 years, it'll go down 2.8 to 3.2 million. These historical weighted averages, year 1, we're multiplying times 0.25, year 2, 0.3, and year 4 times 0.5. And that's how you come up with this weighted average. So if you look at, there was, let's see here on, let's say the infrastructure. So the infrastructure this year was here. Now, on certain years, it's only you can only get 2 pieces of data. So here, year 2 starts at 0.4, and year 3 is 0.6. So if there's 3 years, it's 0.25, then 0.3, then 0.45. If it's only 2 years, it's 0.4 and 0.6. And that's how we get these weighted averages to be able to project out to the future. We also have charts added in here. And these are live dynamically updating, so it shows the total IT budget and where that goes for, what we've got sales calculated out, the cumulative growth of IT spending, and then finally the different categories and where we're spending it. You can see development is the largest at 44%. So that's how it works. It's pretty simple to use. The calculations are quite complex. As you can see in here, we've got if statements with lots of calculations, especially when you're including the inflation categories in there. But really, the projection should not be touched. The historical data shouldn't be touched. It really should all come from the assumptions and whether you want to use the projected data or override that data. And that's about it. Thank you very much.